I once had a job where I had to answer the phone and say, "Hello, beef?"
There we are, Lee's team. What do you think?
What was the job?
It was a job, it was an office job where...
An office job?
Yeah, an office job.
Right.
In an office job.
Yeah, I know what an office job is.
Yeah, with a
the
certain
word
type...
office I'm not confused with is the bit about the beef that's getting to it.
It's a government department where we dealt with beef and lamb and suckling cows.
Right. So what was the government department exactly? What were they
It
doing?
was it was an agricultural department of Welsh government.
So they'd ring up and say, "Hello, beef," and the kind of questions they would ask you would be...
They'd say, it was all about identifying animals.
Identifying them?
Yeah.
So you go, "Hello, beef," and they go, "I think you're just a man. I'm looking at a big black and white animal. It's saying moo. Can you help me?" "Ah, it's cow. I'm beef. Goodbye."
No. Well, either that or you might want to put them through the suckler cow. Depends if it was male or female.
What is a suckler cow?
I don't know. I only worked in beef.
Which was this in Cardiff or something? Or?
No, it was in West Wales.
Was it in Carmarthen?
Carmarthen.
Kidwelly?
Carmarthen.
Haverfordwest?
Carmarthen.
Carmarthen?
You should work on the trains. The Welsh office is in Cardiff, but the Welsh Office Agriculture Department, WOAD, is in Carmarthen.
So farmers would ring you up and ask you questions about
Farmers
beef?
would ring me up and they'd say, "I've got an animal here, and it needs identification," and we would give them...
What do you mean identification?
We would give them cattle identification documents. It was the CID department, CID,
well, just
cattle
stop
identification.
Stop it. I feel sick with confusion.
It's CID. I worked in CID. It was...
Oh, you worked in CID?
Cattle
no, it makes sense. You worked for CID.
There's been a mooder.
CID was cattle identification document, so it's like a cow passport, and they'd ask us questions about
cow passport?
A cow passport. They'd ring up and they'd say, "We've got a new cow in town."
So you'd send out the official documentation.
They would tell me the animal's details, and we would print up a CID, cattle identification document.
Because each one needed this. Everyone had to have this.
Every cow.
Oh, every cow, yes.
So what are you going to say then, Lee? Is he telling the truth?
Well, if you know a lot about cows. A little.
I've rung up departments of DEFRA and said hello, and they've said hello, beef.
Yeah.
And the whole WOAD thing, you wouldn't just come up with that.
Unless you were very quick and very clever.
OK, we'll go with true.
You're saying true. Rhod, were you telling the truth?
It was...
True!
Yes, it's true. Rhod did once have a job where he had to ensure every cow had a passport. Oh, it's hard enough getting him into the...
I was sacked from my job at a zoo when my boss found out I had been taking photos of the animals wearing hats.
So, just to clarify, were you wearing the hats or the animals?
No, I was taking photos of the animals wearing hats.
Yes, just to clarify, were you wearing hats or the animals?
Well, you think I was taking photos of animals while I was wearing multiple hats?
I would say that in the world of oddness, a man wearing two hats is no odder than an animal wearing one.
Can you give us some examples of animal hat combos that you took photos of?
Yeah, I've done monkeys in bowler hats.
Of course.
I've done a hippo in a flat cap. And, well, I was going to call him a snake. It wasn't a snake. It was in the reptile house, but I don't know what he was, but he was wearing a fez.
Were these miniature hats, can I ask, Rhod, were these little animal hats or human hats?
On the hippo? Are you mad?
No, but on the thing in the reptile house, I'm thinking a full-size fez is going to just hide the creature.
Yes, but what you're saying is, were the hats to scale?
Thank you. Rhod, were the hats to scale?
The hats, well, I mean, to scale is a grand way of putting it, but I would certainly try and make the hat fit.
Right.
The top of a hippo's head is actually quite a slippery affair.
Oh, you've got to get the right hat.
When you say...
What was your official role at the zoo?
General dog's body, basically.
I get the feeling that if you were going to put hats on animals, you'd have gone for deer stalkers and bear skins, you know?
I didn't say I didn't. We just haven't got all the way through the animals.
OK.
You You name a hat, you name an animal.
Deerstalker.
No, I didn't do a deerstalker.
Oh.
I didn't have a deerstalker. It wasn't a comprehensive... You can't
But you had a
cross-reference every
fez,
animal.
and you had a massive hippo-sized fez.
It was a regular flat cap.
So what you're saying is
I didn't have every single animal in the zoo, and there wasn't every hat. I didn't cross-reference every single combination of animal and hat. I just put some on some.
Rhod, where was this zoo? Was this a Welsh zoo? Was it Penscunna Bird Gardens, for example?
It was down in Pembrokeshire, in a place called Oaksnade.
Oaksnade?
Yeah.
There's a chain of snade zoos, isn't there? There's Oaksnade, Whipsnade.
And how did it all come to an end? What stopped this?
I got caught.
And who was it who apprehended you?
It was the manager of the zoo.
As a zoo owner and manager, I wouldn't have been offended. I can't see anyone being offended by a fez on a snake and a flat cap on a hippo. I'd have been...
Just what the zoo needs.
If it's down there in South Wales at this Oaksnade or something, I'd have thought any little hat on a cat would have done the
Why?
trick.
Because it's a Welsh zoo? Our animals aren't good enough in their natural habitat. We'd better dress them up a bit. You racist bastard. Unbelievable. Well, David, what do you think?
Well, I'll ask my team first.
I mean, I've never heard of Oaksnade Zoo. Have you ever heard of Oaksnade Zoo?
Is that the most you doubt about that story? A flat cap on a hippo.
Kenzie,
Fair enough. Oaksnade Zoo. Not having it. Not having it.
My girlfriend owns a zoo. We tour zoos, and Oaksnade's never been on our agenda.
Oaksnade, the zoo that shares a syllable with Whipsnade. I think Mackenzie's right. That's the chink in the otherwise impenetrable armour of plausibility. That Oaksnade Zoo doesn't exist. I think we're very happy to say lie.
You're saying it's a lie, so, Rhod, were you telling the truth or were you telling us a lie?
Well, chaps, I'm afraid I was telling a lie.
Yes, it was a lie. Rhod wasn't sacked from his job at a zoo because he was caught taking photos of animals wearing hats.
I cannot go on airport travelators. The one and only time I did, I got so freaked out by how superhumanly fast I was walking, I had to be taken to the sick bay to calm down.
Lee, what do you think?
Right. I mean, just how fast would you say you were going?
Superhuman was the word I used.
OK. How fast would you define superhuman? Because I've got my own definition.
Have you? Well, what's yours?
I asked you first.
Let's just say it went very fast, I didn't like it.
So you're saying that you were on it, you had to be escorted off, taken to the sick bay?
I wasn't escorted off, I got off the end and then I sought assistance.
You felt nauseous, did you fall
That's
off?
right, I felt nauseous.
What's the difference between nauseous and nauseous? David, what's the difference between
Excuse me, you could have asked me. Excuse me! I'm a human being!
I'm imagining you'll refer me to David. David, what's the difference between nausea... Is it simply pronunciation?
I think it's simply pronunciation, Rob.
Oh, OK. Thank you, David. As you were.
Shall I tell you another thing I don't like? It freaks me out when escalators don't work. You know, when you go up an escalator and you get up and you're exhausted and your legs are burning and you walk, they don't work, it's more tiring than the stairs, yet when you get to the top, you still fly off the end like that. That freaks me out. I don't like that feeling of lack of control. The escalator doesn't work, and yet you still fly off the top. Why is that?
I don't think you do fly off the top. I think that's
No, you do fly off the top,
your
Dave.
brain telling you a
No,
lie.
my brain doesn't tell me anything. Honestly, it does have...
Rod's brain does not tell him anything.
No.
Is that official, yeah?
What do you mean? It's not my brain telling
So
me I'm
you're
flying off
saying
the
that
end.
we're on at the top of a stationary escalator, you in
Yes.
some way are thrown
Yes.
off the end of it
Yes.
as if it were...
As I described.
That's nothing to do with the electrical motor in the escalator that isn't turned on.
I'm not saying it is.
That's because you're using a certain amount of extra energy in order to go up some stairs,
Yes.
and then suddenly it seems
That.
easy to go on the... Well, you'll find that at the top of a normal flight of stairs.
No, you won't.
Yes, you will.
Nobody flies off the top of a normal stairs. Hang on a minute, let's have a go, shall we? Let's give it a little go. Oh, you're right, David. Oh, you're right. You're quite right. What are you on about?
What I'm going to tell you now, Rod, you may not be ready to hear. But the feeling of getting to the top of a normal flight of stairs
is not the same.
And the feeling of getting to the top of an escalator that is not turned on is the same.
It's not.
It is the same.
It's not.
It is the
It's
same.
not.
This is madness.
It's not. Well, you're saying... You started off saying it's
I'm not going to discuss it anymore. I've told you the information. At some point, you will accept it.
Yes.
Rod, you're on this travelator, OK?
I was, yeah.
And you didn't like the fact that you were going so fast. Would that be a fair assessment?
Well, that's exactly what I said, so yes.
Yes. Why didn't you stop walking so you weren't going as fast?
I just don't like the way they kind of bump.
Tell you what.
They kind of shift along. I just don't like that.
Oh, it's the
feeling.
up and down motion.
Well, there's a little cushion padding in it, yes.
You could have walked backwards and then you'd been standing still.
Yes, I know, but
if you judge the speed right.
All right, but I had a plane to catch, David.
Right.
So what do you think, Lee?
Tess, what do you think?
Well, I'm trying to read his body language, because I'm a woman and we do intuition very well. He's very laid back. He seems very committed.
Very
I think
committed,
he might
very
be telling the
confident,
truth.
very laid back.
Yes.
What about you,
I
Des?
just think he's telling the truth.
I think he is.
Thank you, Des.
I think he might be telling the truth.
You're saying true?
Am I?
True.
True. Rod, truth or lie?
It is a lie.
Yes, it's a lie. Of course, Rod can use airport travelators. It's Rod.
I once dug up my dead hamster and gave it a wash.
What age were you when you bought it?
Oh.
And what age were you when it bought it?
Oh, God. When I bought it, I must have been 25.
20... Sorry, what? 25?
6.
So I think we were...
6.
So I must say, I was thinking it would have been...
I don't know
your
exactly. I
childhood.
did not record my age when I went into the
Okay, so you
shop.
bought it...
Okay, but we're not
to use it
splitting
like that.
hairs between 23 and 24 here,
Mid-twenties.
right? You weren't 9 is what we're basically getting here.
No, I tell you what, maths really is your strong point.
Yeah. Well, the point is, who in their 20s buys a hamster?
I like the fact that it doesn't seem unusual that he dug it up and washed it. That's all right.
Did you
had a hamster in your mid-20s?
Did you wash
Surely
it?
that's not the bit you should be focusing on.
Did the hamster have a name?
Yes, so his name was... Yanto.
How's that spelled?
I-A-N-T-O, I think.
Does it
To be honest, I never had cause to write his name down.
You don't have to worry about the spelling of any pets, really. They just drop on.
I think there are times when you have to write... You might be writing an email
Yeah.
with news
I
to a loved
buy a
one.
hamster
By
in
the
your
way,
mid-20s.
Yanto's looking peaky.
You're quite right, I did
Did
once...
you not put a little tombstone, thus making it easy for you later to dig him up and wash him?
He did have a tombstone, yeah, of sorts, yeah.
And did he not have Yanto written on the tombstone?
Tragically, there was already something written on his tombstone.
What was it on?
It was a lollipop stick.
It had a joke on it.
The hamster died and you buried it where?
In the garden.
How long was it under the earth before you dug it up? Was it sort of months later?
No, probably a day or two.
Was it in a container, a sort of hamster coffin?
It was in a container, yeah.
What was the container?
It was in a smoothie bottle.
A smoothie bottle.
He was in a smoothie bottle. How did you get the hamster into the smoothie bottle?
With the lolly stick.
No, I took the top off and just pushed him in.
You sort of forced him in. So I imagine...
I had to, he was dead. I tried persuading him, but it didn't work.
And then how would you get the hamster out to wash it?
Or did you put the water in the bottle, put the lid back on, give it a shake, and then take the lid off, and then...
No, you wouldn't want to put water in. You'd want to put lots of fizzy drink in, shake it up, and he's out. He is blown out in the air. And then you go...
The thing that we haven't established in all of this is why you felt you had to clean him.
Because he had like a strawberry Mohican. It was gone stiff.
There's still strawberry stuff in there.
Yeah, I hadn't rinsed it out properly.
And you were racked with guilt.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Can you describe the washing?
If I'm honest, the washing of him doesn't stand out that much in my... It was a fairly straightforward rinse and blow dry, as I remember.
What a blow dry! Come on, you didn't blow dry him.
In the kitchen.
Been anywhere nice on your holidays?
What?
Do you want a cup of tea or anything?
Did you run the hamster under the kitchen tap?
I washed as much of that strawberry smoothie out of his sticky, brittle hair as I could. We said our goodbyes and buried him in the garden.
So did you feel like you'd done the right thing?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Thanks, Rob. I did, yeah.
That's good. That's good
nice.
to know.
That's
Do you think he's telling the truth?
I don't. No.
Maybe a quick flick under the tap, but I don't think he'd spend time scrubbing down the...
So you're saying lie?
We're saying it's a lie.
Saying it's a lie.
Yeah.
Rod, the hamster, the burial, the resurrection. Is it the truth, or were you telling a lie?
Obviously, it's true.
Well, it's true, and it's very upsetting.
I once had a holiday in a Frenchman's garage.
Can I check if this is a euphemism? Seriously, how old were you, roughly? I don't mean go. Oh, 17.
38.
30... Oh, this is quite recently.
When it happened?
Yeah.
So you're 38, right?
Yeah.
You're in France. Where was the garage?
France.
Whereabouts in France?
Northern France.
Whereabouts in northern France?
Brittany.
In Britain. So you ended up in Brittany.
Southern Brittany.
Southern Brittany.
Okay.
And you
The northern end of southern Britain.
Oh, that's just south of mid-Brittany, isn't it?
Mid-Brittany.
Yeah.
What's the name of the town that you were in? Were you in
The
a
town where I stayed in the Frenchman's garage
was...
Van.
You're in the van in the garage?
No. The town...
Is this how this mix-up happened? I want a holiday in a van.
Rod, let me speak to you as another Welshman. Maybe he'll understand me.
Ask me a nice specific question.
Did you book a holiday in a Frenchman's garage?
No, I once had a holiday.
When you arrived in the village or town called Van...
Yeah, Van, yeah.
Did you already know you will be staying in a garage?
No.
Were all the hotels booked?
No. We thought it looked nice in the brochure.
Who did?
Me and my partner.
Partner?
Girlfriend.
Girlfriend?
Now wife.
Blimey, that was a quick 10 seconds.
OK. So you were going to Van.
We went to Van.
Right.
Went to a tourist information place to...
Because you hadn't booked anywhere.
We hadn't booked anywhere.
I'm with you.
Right. What happens at the tourist information place?
They said, what about this place? And we said, that looks nice.
Lovely.
It's a house with a nice
Good.
pool.
Love it.
Looked nice in the picture.
Yeah.
So we went there.
So you got there.
Booked it.
And when you got there...
It was a garage.
I do
The house was nice, but we were in the garage.
Was the garage decked out to look like a room, or was it just spanners and...
It looked like a room with a canoe on the side and a fuse box.
Am I old before my time? But
Yes.
At 38, you don't go on a crazy, we're not going to book where we're going. At 38, you want to know where you're going. We've got this nice,
I'm with you,
comfy
Hal.
room. You know, if it is true, you totally deserve what happened to you.
I didn't say I didn't enjoy it.
So you like the sort of... It was a deliberate rough
No, it was a
and tough...
disaster.
How long did you stay for in the garage?
2 weeks.
You stayed for 2 weeks? How much did you pay?
It was very reasonable.
I'm surprised. Did it have any windows in the garage?
No.
And you said there was a swimming pool?
Yeah, they had a swimming pool.
You were allowed to use it?
No.
I can't help thinking that what you're describing is more of a hostage scenario. And what about Mrs. Gilbert? She wasn't Mrs. Gilbert then, but how did she react? Because she's looking at you, Rod, the tall, strapping, handsome Welshman, what everyone dreams of. And you whisked her there. Was there not a little part of her that died that day when she saw what you expected her to
She wasn't very well, if I remember rightly.
Was it carbon monoxide or exhaust fumes? All right, Lee, it's a complex tale. What do your team think?
Absolute lie.
It's a lie?
Absolutely.
Really? Mm-hmm. Based on just the floundering?
Absolutely everything.
Like what? All right, it did have windows.
What are you thinking, Hal?
It's like he's throwing in things that seem so ridiculous And
No,
what-
but nobody would go and stay in a garage without windows.
But I think
They
you should have
wouldn't.
thrown
You're
things on
Kelly
the-
Hoppen, though, Kelly. He's Rhod Gilbert. OK, what's it going to be, Lee? Truth or lie?
Lie.
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 Lie. I think it's true, but I'll go with my team and say it's a lie.
You're going to say
Well,
lie.
guess.
OK, Rod. Garage holiday in France. Truth
Garage
or lie?
holiday in the Frenchman's garage in Van. True.
Yes, it was all true. Rod did once have a holiday in a Frenchman's garage.
One Friday after school, I swapped our family cat for a Scotch egg and a Smurf. When my mum found out on Monday morning, she made me swap them back.
Right. Well, when was this, first of all? How old were you?
13.
But more important than how old was he or anything to do with him, the cat. What? I mean, seriously, we're very concerned about the cat. I am.
I'm a bit more concerned about the Smurf, if I'm going to be honest.
I'm most concerned, the Scotch egg, what was your logic? Would you hide it under your bed for a whole weekend?
Why don't you three have a little chat, and when you worked out collectively what you're most concerned about, come back to me.
Can I start?
Please do, please do.
What was the cat called? What kind of cat? What colour, please?
The cat was called Snowdrop, and as the name implies, it was tortoiseshell.
Who did you swap with?
Should I name him?
I don't know, unless he's in prison at the moment and he's...
I don't know, I haven't seen him for a long time. It was a kid who lived on an estate nearby.
Just give us his first name.
Lee.
Just with the Scotch egg, you wanted the Scotch egg. You wanted the Scotch egg so badly that you traded a living mammal for it, and then you just put it under your bed for 48 hours.
To be fair, trading a Scotch egg for a living mammal is exactly what's necessary in the manufacture process of a Scotch egg. You start off... People have decided they have live pigs, but they don't like the live pigs enough. What they want is no pigs, but Scotch eggs.
Right. Why did you want the Scotch egg? I presume for the obvious that you like them and you wanted to eat it.
Yes.
Why didn't you just eat it there and then?
Why didn't I just eat...
You said you swapped them back again on the Monday.
So why did...
That suggests you still had the Scotch
well,
egg
hang on. I
the
mean, was
Monday.
it the same one, or had you consumed it and then you just had to give a Scotch egg back?
That's right, Rob.
It's like the bloody Welsh Mafia, this. You can't help him out.
Could I get back to the cat? Cats obviously are very territorial, so would the cat not try and come home? Because they normally do if they've gone out away.
He didn't. Not that weekend.
Talk us through the actual exchange process.
I tell you what, Rob, you stand up. We'll go through it. Come on,
I am standing up.
I'll role play it with you. Right. OK, so imagine I've got my family cat in my hand.
All right.
And you in with this hand, you have a Scotch egg.
Where are we now, Rod? Where are we? We're in Wales.
Are
we in Wales?
We're in Wales.
Oh.
We're in Wales.
Isn't that nice? Let's just take a minute. Let's just take a minute. It's lovely. Go on.
Right. So we're in Wales.
Yeah.
I've got a cat in my hand.
All right.
Right. You've got in this hand a Smurf and a Scotch egg.
Yes.
Right, now we swap them over.
All right, here we go.
Right,
this is how it happens.
This is going to be difficult.
And that, my lord, is the mechanics of the exchange.
Wow. You can put the cat down now.
But gently, Rob, gently, yes.
So what do you think, Lee? Does this sound truthful to you?
I don't think he's shown any affection for Snowdrop, and on that basis alone, I think it can't be true.
Well, weirdly, the exact same reason, I think it is true, because I know him to be heartless.
I can show you some affection. What do you want to know about Snowdrop? I can show affection with Snowdrop.
All right, how would you stroke him?
Her.
No, got ya. That, you have changed the sex of that cat at least 3 times.
I promise you, even
You have!
I don't think vets should agree to do that.
It's always been a female cat, Snowdrop.
What are you thinking, Rob? Are you thinking it's the truth?
It's really starting to crumble at the end here, so I'm smelling a lie.
Both saying a lie. My team say lie. We will go with lie.
OK, you're saying lie. Rod, truth or lie?
It is a lie.
Yes, it was a lie. Rhod didn't swap his family cat for a Scotch egg and a Smurf. Nick.
A mistake I made in France meant someone in England got hospitalised.
Lee's team.
Have you just learned to read?
Was the mistake you made in the French language?
It's a simple question, Rod. Was it in the French?
Was it in the language of
Right.
the
It's a
French?
simple question with a simple answer.
Right.
Yes, it was.
Can you tell us
Oui.
the mistake you made, please?
The mistake I made got somebody hospitalised. That was the...
I didn't say... No. That's not worthy of the clap. What was the mistake?
What was the mistake?
Say. Lee, I'll take it from here. What was the nature of this mistake?
It was a language thing. It was a French-English mix-up. It was a mix-up, a terrible mix-up, language
What were you
mix-up,
doing
terrible.
in France?
I was on the phone. I was in France. I was working in France, and I was on the phone.
Working in France.
I was on the phone to England, and I made a mistake with my French-English translation.
Who received the mistake?
A girl. What
was her name?
Anne.
What colour hair does she have?
I don't know. She was on the phone.
So you never met her?
I never met her.
So can you talk us through the incident?
I was asked by someone in France. They said, "Can you talk to somebody in England?"
Why did they ask you to do that?
Because they didn't speak English.
Right. What was the relationship between Anne and the person that had asked you to talk?
Oh, that was Anne's father said, "Can you speak to Anne? She's in England and we're in France. And ask her what's wrong with her."
How did you know him? What was
How
the
did you know
relationship?
him? There's a new angle.
Oh, I knew him. Oh, you should have asked. I knew him because I worked in France. I was in a school. I worked in a school. He was the caretaker.
What were you doing in school?
I was teaching English.
Now, his daughter, she's French.
Yes.
She's living in England.
Yeah.
Now.
No, she wasn't living. She was on a very short exchange thing.
Right. Now, in the words of Question of Sport, what happened next?
He came to me, said, "Can you talk to my daughter, Anne? She's ill, she's in England." She couldn't speak to the family she was with. That's the problem. That's the problem.
So she didn't know how to speak to the family?
She couldn't speak to the family because
How
the
is
family
you
was English.
speaking to her going to help that?
Right, here's the situation. Anne could talk to her dad and tell her what was wrong with her in French, but he couldn't say that to the family because they didn't speak French and he didn't speak English. So he came to me, who spoke both languages. I went to her, I spoke to her in French, then I passed it on to the family in English. What's wrong with them? I passed that on to him in English, then I passed it back to him in French. Everyone's happy.
Now, she got... That's fine.
You said that you made a mistake that caused this person to be hospitalised.
That's right, I did, yeah.
What did you do wrong? What did you say wrong?
Yeah.
I said, qu'est-ce qui se passe, all that, you know, as you do. And she said, j'ai une angine.
Was she stuck in the bell tower? I know what's wrong with her. Is this something to do with her back?
J'ai une angine.
And what is that? What does that mean?
Well, I said, I got the English family on the phone and I said, "Hey, she's got an angina. She's got angina."
And that's a mistake, right?
Well, angina, I found out later, is a serious heart condition, so she was hospitalised.
But what was wrong with her?
Angine is a sore throat. I didn't know that at the time.
And what happened? Did they then rush her to this hospital?
They called 999 and got her into hospital, yeah.
Nuff.
OK, so Lee, what are you thinking? Could it be true?
I don't think Anne is a French name. That's the one bit in it that I don't believe.
Anne-Marie?
Is she?
Don't know.
What an absolutely amazing answer.
That's one of the funniest things anybody's ever said.
I believe it to be true.
You believe it to be true? OK.
It was so torturous getting that story out that it has to be the truth.
Yeah.
Lee, you think so too?
It could not be any truer.
Rhod, truth or lie?
Of course, it is true.
Rhod, you're next.
For 1 month, I chose to sleep on the streets rather than talk to the people I was supposed to be living with.
David C.
And at what stage in your life was this?
What stage?
Yes.
Do you mean how old was I?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Age 20.
Whereabouts? Where was it?
Spain.
What made you vacate your house?
There was no house, and I never went to it.
You never went there at all?
It was a hotel, sort of hostel thing, you know, not a house. Yeah. I went there, stood outside.
OK.
Looked at it.
Yeah.
Thought, nah.
So it wasn't the people, it was the...
It was the idea of the people.
You wanted to live alone and were surprised that a hostel didn't afford that possibility.
And you stayed on the street for a whole month.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, bar a couple of nights here or there, yeah.
Did you pull on the other nights? What happened on those?
You're absolutely right, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So on those occasions, the thought of other people wasn't quite so loathsome.
Yes.
Where in Spain was this?
It was in Salamanca, and I slept on a bench, right dead centre of a square.
How were you washing your clothes?
I didn't.
Well, how many pairs of pants did you have?
I'm going to say 4, but...
4 for a month without washing them?
I said 4, but it could have been 7.
Well, 7's not enough. You need 28, otherwise you're an animal.
No, but I hate to support your own teammate against you, Lee. If you're going to a place for a month, you might decide that you're not going to take enough underwear to have a fresh pair of pants every day without ever washing.
How many pairs of pants do you own?
I think I've probably got about... I've got maybe...
Look at you, desperate thinking. What is the right answer? David, there's no right or wrong. You're amongst friends.
I think I've got about 14 pairs I'm happy with.
Yeah.
And another 4 or 5 that would do at a pinch, and I use the word advisedly.
Predominantly boxers or bikini brief?
Predominantly... I mean, it's interesting that this is what the conversation's going around to. Predominantly what I believe is referred to as a sort of trunk.
You favour the trunk?
Yeah.
I think you mean the jockey short. Like a boxer short shape, but tight.
Look, I'll just take my trousers off and you can look.
I did wash a pair of pants.
Oh, you remember that?
I did wash
It's amazing how these things come back to you.
The reason I chose the middle of the square was because there was a bin lorry that would come round every morning in concentric circles, just spraying from the side of the lorry, hosing down the square. I would stay in the middle, and then I would wash in the bin lorry when it got to the centre. And one day I did wash a pair of pants on the hose on the side of the bin lorry. I did.
Wow.
I did.
So you
hi, girls. This is my friend Rhod. Would you like a drink?
You put a pair of pants in the way of a bin lorry's hose to wash it.
I used to wash in the bin lorry, well, a tap at the side of the bin lorry, yeah.
So they wouldn't mind you sauntering up to the bin lorry and turning the tap
No,
on?
they were very amenable, the local bin man, Miguel.
Well, you got to
Did you learn the phrase, can I wash my pants on the side of your bin lorry in Spanish?
Se puede lavarme los... what's underpants in Spanish, Rob?
Pantalondero.
Sí. Pantalondero.
How many pants have you got, Rob?
I was just given a gift. It was my birthday recently, not that you'd know from any response from you. And...
I didn't know you were still alive. What did you get for your birthday?
Oh, sorry, yeah, I got some...
Old man who forgot the story. I got a lovely present anyway. On with the game. Do you remember, Rob, you were telling us a lovely story about your pants? Tell us about your pants.
I got some pants.
Yeah.
Now,
Yes.
So, Ronan Keating, what do you think?
Yeah, I could see him doing that.
Toff, what about you?
I think it's a completely insane thing to do what you did, so I think you're lying.
There is a lot of detail. I'm going to go true.
You're saying it's true. OK, Rhod. Was it the truth, or was it a lie?
It was a... true!
Insane.
Yes, it's true.
I once had to share flip-flops with a friend after losing one of mine on a hike.
Is that it?
Yeah, I'm just wondering whether I lost a flip-flop or a friend.
David's team.
How did that work? What was the system?
Where were you?
We were in Thailand.
Going to a full moon party, Dave.
That's not hiking then, is it? Yeah. They don't hike to a full moon party. I've been to the full moon party. There was no hiking involved.
Yeah. You probably got the bus there, did you?
I did get the bus there. That's a good point.
That's why.
What's a full moon party? Everyone else seems to know.
Well, let's start with the party first. Do you know what that is?
Yes, it's a group of individuals of the same political persuasion, and in totalitarian circumstances, it can become dominant.
There's a certain island in Thailand where every month they have a full moon. The full moon is out and there's a big party on the beach. So we thought we'll go to that. We'll have a bit of that. Me and my friend.
Yeah.
We thought we'd go round the headland. It's only about an hour, they said, to walk around the headland. But we set off in flip-flops.
Mm-hmm.
Bad idea.
What time of day?
Oh, midday, probably.
Midday?
Yeah.
But it's a full moon party.
Yeah. You've got to get there early, David.
You're planning to get there at lunchtime and then just wait for dusk.
We thought we'd have a bit of lunch. We'll make a day of it.
Rod, jump to the moment now where you have to share the flip-flops.
Right, so two of us, two flip-flops each. 4 flip-flops, 2 people. That went on really well for about an hour until I lost a flip-flop.
How?
Yeah. Leapt across a rock, waves crashing below, hot, jaggedy rocks, and flip-flop fell in the water. Gone. 3 flip-flops, 2 people. Carried on like that for an hour. My friend going on a few metres in 2 flip-flops, then throwing a flip-flop back to me. I put his flip-flop on with my other flip-flop, and I caught him up. That went on for quite a while, that system.
I'm not clear on that system.
Here it is. This is me, this is him.
Yeah.
He goes forward in his 2 flip-flops.
Yes.
Throws a flip-flop back to me.
Yeah.
I put his flip-flop on, and I catch him up.
This is the exact chat they have in the Welsh football dressing room.
System went on well for a while.
Yeah.
Until he throws the flip-flop. I fumble the catch and lose the next flip-flop. Now we're 2 flip-flops, 2 people. So he goes on a few metres in his 2 flip-flops. I wait in bare feet. He throws both flip-flops back to me, and then I catch him up. That goes on quite well for about an hour. Until you never guess what happens. He throws the flip-flop back to me. I fumble it, down it goes. Now we're on 1 flip-flop, 2 people. And then you'll never guess what happened next. A Dutch bloke came round with 2 shoes on. We then tell him the system that's been going on. He said, well, we won't continue with that. We'll all take 1 shoe each. And we hopped.
Did you make it to the party?
We made it to the beach where the party was.
Yes.
And then we thought, we don't fancy it now.
No.
How did you get back?
Bus. We took the bus that Jamali had took.
A bus.
But what they did was one person got on the bus, the other one walked ahead, then the bus overtook them and he got off the bus and he got on.
Yeah.
What do you think, Rosie? What do you think? Does it strike you as true?
Well, the whole story, Rhod comes across as an idiot, so, yeah, true.
What do you think?
I think it's lies.
Why?
Because this Dutch guy just came from nowhere.
Yeah.
And
No, he came from Holland.
Maybe that's why it's a lie, because if it was a real Dutch guy, he would be wearing clogs.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
What's it going to be, David?
Do I think it's true?
Ask yourself that.
Yes, I do.
Rod, was it true or was it a lie?
It was true.
It's true. Rod did share flip-flops with his friend.